All right. Welcome, everyone, back to another episode of the USS Akatsuki, Family Obligations Part 4. Now, just to give a quick recap of the events at the last episode, um, it was finally the night of the Betazoid Cultural Festival. Um, the Doctor, with somebody he met on the planet named Lyra, they were walking around enjoying the evening. They met up briefly with Captain Keir and nicknamed himself Jax, um, who were on another one of the blind dates set up by the Ambassador Keir for Captain Keir's upcoming arranged wedding ceremony, which should be happening in roughly 3 days or so. Could be two if we change things narratively, but we'll go with three for now, just to keep things rolling. Toward the probably closer to around midnight, um, a loud scream could be heard echoing throughout the entertainment district, where Doctor you grab, I'll just call it date for lack of a other explanation, and you start running toward the sound of the screams. And when you arrived, you see that there is a Betazoid male who is on the ground convulsing, and the woman that is with him, you notice, is having a panic attack with glossy eyes. And I think that is where we will start.
Okay. Um, First thing I'm gonna do, survey the scene. Did he like fall from a table, or is there like any
I
food scattered
so
around him?
so let me quickly explain where you're at. You are probably in what you would consider to be like an alleyway between buildings.
Hmm.
So there's no tables. It's basically just like a throughfare, between buildings to get to different places. And when you arrived on scene, it was only those two. But as the screams could be heard, people start to form a crowd around it. But when you first got there, it was probably you and the two people there.
Okay. But like I said, is there like anything around him? Like, was he holding food that he dropped when he started convulsing?
No, no.
No. Okay. Uh, I'm
Yeah,
going
no.
to.
It's pretty much just a bare bones walkthrough.
Okay.
Maybe 50 meters.
Okay. I just wanted to know if there was like something that pointed to an obvious sign of what might be happening, like if he ate something bad and this is food poisoning or something like that.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. But you don't spot anything with your Mark One eyeballs to that effect.
Okay. Um, I will let go of Lyra's hand as I like slide in next to the guy, or as close as I can safely get with my tricorder out, and give him a scan. And at the same time, I'll be like I'll be trying to talk to the woman as well to say, ma'am, what's your name? Just try to get her to respond to some kind of external stimuli that's not the panic attack she's about to go into. Just be, ma'am, what's your name? Do you know this man here? Just try to get some kind of a response out of her while I scan the guy with my tricorder.
Uh, Soraya.
That's your name?
Yeah, yes.
Do you know this man?
He, boyfriend.
Boyfriend. Okay. Do you know how old he is?
27.
27. All right, Soraya. Good. Thank you. What's your boyfriend's name?
Kalen.
Kalen. All right. Um, is he like full on seizing, or is he just like kind of spasming?
He would be. Checks my notes. It's probably like body tremors.
Okay, so he's
You know,
not like in danger of flailing and hitting something.
right, right.
Okay. Kalen and Soraya. Okay.
Right, and then you were scanning, correct?
Yes. What would you like me to roll?
Um,
I'm
just so
assuming
I know what
medicine or
information I'm
something.
going to give you. Yeah, just so I'm sure what information I'm. Are you just doing like a general medical scan? Are you scanning for anything in particular?
General medical scan first, and then based on what comes up, I'm going to narrow it down.
Okay, then just give me a. Oh, let's go reason medicine. Just a diff one here.
Okay. And will you accept emergency medicine as a focus?
I will. This seems to be an emergency situation.
Damn it. I should have
Uh,
spent. I should have spent the one momentum for an extra die.
right.
But I
Are you
still
going to
got my
let the roll stand?
success.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's just
I'm sorry.
there's
What'd you say?
complications. Are you going to let it stand?
I have to. I don't have anything to. It's. I don't have anything to immediately take care of that unless I wanted to spend determination. So the
Man,
complication
with
stands.
with your patient cautious, like you should probably always be buying dice. I'm just seeing what
Yeah.
other task you have. Or all right. So you scan the patient. I'm just gonna narrate this because there's not really anybody you need to tell this information to. You scan him, and the best you can tell, he seems to be having a physical response to what appears from your sensors to be a type of. It's like a response to a type of narcotic.
He's overdosing, effectively.
You could definitely surmise that based on the
Okay.
information given.
I will make another scan now that I've got a path to investigate. Um, trying to see what kind of chemicals are in his system.
Okay, give
You want me to
me
make another roll?
yes. Mostly because you got the complications. So yeah, this will be a diff 2 comp 2. Probably the same. Oh, excuse me. Reason medicine.
Still reason medicine. Okay. Diff 2, Comp 2. Will you
Or
still accept
you know what?
emergency medicine?
You know what? This will be insight.
Oh, insight. Okay.
Yeah, let's go insight medicine.
Okay.
Um,
Still accepting emergency medicine?
yeah.
Okay. And I will pop one momentum for the extra die. Forgot to put in the comp too.
It's fine. 3 successes. All the dice succeeded. Gain 1.
And generate 1 float.
Yes. So you start the scanning for the body to try to match a known narcotic. However, you are not able to determine what the narcotic is. The tricorder's computer is not able to match to any known compounds.
Okay, you chopped out in the middle, so I heard I'm not. I don't know what the narcotic is.
Yeah.
It does
Basically,
something to.
yeah. You're not able to determine what the narcotic is. It's even the computer, your tricorder with its database is not able to determine a match to the narcotic. Is that better?
For me, it's been good the whole time. So
Can you hear me now?
I could hear you originally. I think the rest of us could too.
yeah,
What's going on?
Doc, are you able to hear us?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I saw a bunch of people lighting up and I couldn't hear a thing.
Sometimes it happens. Discord's not perfect.
Okay. Alright, so
Um,
character can't ID the drug.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. And your experience with this, you're not able to identify it either.
For the one floating momentum, was the computer able to, or the tricorder able to like isolate the compound even if it can't identify it?
It can. Maybe not the full thing, but like what hasn't been broken down yet by the bloodstream.
Okay. Let's
But you're basically able to tell what should not be in a typical betazoid bloodstream.
Okay, I'm gonna look up at the woman and say, Soraya, did either of you take any kind of recreational substances?
She will nod her head yes and
Do you know what
start.
it is?
Give me a presence command diff 2.
Presence command. Ugh. Where's doctor's orders when you need it? Can I ask for emergency medicine as a focus on this one? Because I'm trying to get life-saving information out of her.
When you apply it like that, make it presence medicine.
Okay. But no focus, though?
Right. Yeah. No focus, but I'll give you presence medicine.
Okay. And I'll pop one momentum again. What was my difficulty?
2.
2. Okay. I like those numbers.
Those are good numbers. It's something new.
Do you have any of it with you still? Did you use up all of it?
We took it all.
Took it all. Okay. So, question. In the last episode, I had just opened a comm channel to the Akatsuki. I was about to ask for a beam up when I heard the scream, and I said, Akatsuki, stand by. Is that channel still open?
I would imagine so.
Okay.
Narratively, the captain could probably stroll up now because Captain probably is responding to the scream as well. If Captain wishes, of course. Probably.
Lyra, will you go and see if you can find security forces, emergency rescue, someone in the area, please?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. USS Akatsuki, this is Dr. Vela. I need a medical emergency team on my location, please. We have a victim of a possible drug overdose. I'm going to need some kind of field chemical analysis kit. And send to boss. I know she's good for this kind of thing.
Okay, so you're trying to get the cost of So you're trying to get some medical equipment.
Yeah. Actually, Kial would probably be better. She also has emergency. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure who would be better at handling the still semi-responsive victim.
I mean, Giggle can always amputate something for you
Yeah,
if you
no.
want to.
As entertaining as it would probably be to watch you try and amputate someone's blood from their system so that we could do a chemical analysis on it. It's not what is needed right here.
Oh well.
Next time, if there's some grievous leg injury, I'll have you beamed down and you can keep your bones shot. So sure.
Hold you to it.
Sorry, I'm just trying to see what the opportunity cost for that would be. And actually, because you're a doctor, I think it actually...
Reduce it by 1 to a minimum of 0.
Yeah, so, they beam down whatever you ask for. Because most of these have an opportunity cost of 1, which you decrease, so...
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
full med kit and probably some extra gear and 1 or 2 medical personnel, hopefully.
The medical personnel will cost you a momentum. Because they cost 2, I believe.
I'll stick with the equipment for right now then.
Oops.
Why did I beam out?
Sorry, I pushed the wrong button. I was trying to just hit the sound effect for beam in, and I accidentally put beam out, and I had your token selected. There's the beam for your equipment.
Thank you.
That'll teach me not to read what they actually are. I just hit the first thing that looked like a transporter, and it was the beam out one.
Okay. Do I notice the captain roll up on the scene?
Really up to the captain, and then whatever you want to do at that point.
Cap, how close are you?
Well, my question is there a crowd in the area that's kind of gathered
There is a
around him?
crowd. There is a crowd starting to form. Yes.
Does she notice the doctor?
I would say yes. I mean, I think I believe the captain would know who their crew are.
And I'm making enough noise that his voice is probably recognizable.
Yeah. And if nothing else, you probably do see Lyra running past you. Not panicking, but like definitely stressed a bit.
Then I guess she tries to push her way through the crowd and towards the doctor.
All right, give me a fitness con, Captain, to try to make your way through. Just a diff one.
Would you take infiltration for a vote?
For the funsies, I will.
I will spend a momentum.
Right, you get the momentum back. And using your skills as a skilled infiltrator, you're able to pick a path through the crowd and you're able to get to the doctor without any incident. And then you of course see you probably arrive right as the medical supplies the doctor requested beam down. But you're able to see the scene, the guy shaking on the ground, foaming at the mouth, eyes glazed over, the woman's glazed over, panic attacking.
Anything I could do, doctor?
Yes. Try and keep Miss Soraya there calm for a moment while I'm tending to her boyfriend. Also, and I toss the doctor the medical tricorder, see if you can get a scan of her as well. They've taken some kind of compound that the tricorder doesn't recognize.
Okay. She takes the medical.
And in the meantime, I'm going to use the fresh equipment that's been beamed down to try and do a better analysis on the man.
All right. Captain, just give me a insight medicine. It's the diff 1. As you try to scan the woman, and then doctor, what exactly are you trying to do / find out?
A, what compound is in his system, and B, what it might have affected to cause this reaction. And I guess C is there something that I have on hand with the fresh equipment to possibly stabilize or neutralize stabilize the person or neutralize the drug in his system?
Okay. All right, so we'll start with the captain. You're able to scan her, and you do cross-reference with the scans the doctor took. She did take the same substance, but it is not as advanced. Either she took a lesser dose or it's not affecting her as much. You're not sure which way yet. And then doctor, so you are trying to figure out what they took.
Yeah, what they took, what it's affected, and how can I save them?
I'm just having to think here.
I can spend some momentum points if you want, because I also just thought of a very interesting question.
All right, so you're trying to figure out what they took, how you could treat them. What was the third thing?
Well, I mean, you just kind of blended the second two together. The third thing is I had a question now that got 2 scans of the potential compound.
Well, if you wanted to ask about what the captain found, that's fine. We could go ahead and do that for the momentums. Or we could just do your roll.
She doesn't seem to be in a whatever she took an advanced stage yet.
That's good. Try to keep her calm for the right now, and keep an eye on the audience. Try to disperse them if we can, maybe.
Venezuela's security should be here soon, so they will be able to probably handle crowd control here in a bit. I'm sure once they arrive, they'll be sending their own medical teams here.
Good. Okay.
You hear
So-
Jax's voice behind you as he goes through the crowd. Excuse me, sorry, excuse me. Well, what's going on here? Oh,
Please
he
stay back,
looks
sir.
down for a.
Jax.
Oh, you know of me? Yes, you do. We met earlier, of course. Now I
Yep.
recognize you.
All right, so I'll do a roll for my first one.
Okay, this will be difficult given where you're at.
Mhm.
I am thinking that this is probably a diff 5 in these conditions, and you know what, diff 5 comp 2. Probably using your reason or insight medicine.
If 5 comp 2, got it. And I hear him again. Okay. All right.
Could just be the new
Okay.
internet you're using. Imagine you just changed your setup, so it's probably have to work out the kinks.
Yeah, like I said, give me just a minute to restart my Discord, and I'll be right back to make that roll.
Yep, no worries. Sometimes I get paranoid and I think it's my stuff that's not working right.
Okay. Can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay. So diff 5, comp 2.
It mostly has to do the difficulty increases. A lot of it has to do with where you're at trying to do this. Non-ideal situations.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay, so I've got applied research. That I want to use for a free die.
Yeah, I think that would apply here.
Okay. Free die. Comp 2. I'll go ahead and punch that in. No, not 12. The heck?
You also have cutting edge medicine.
Yeah, I'm really debating that, but it's also weirdly not letting me change the complication range. What the heck is going on?
In the little box where you change the number.
Yeah. I had 12, I had 222, and for the life of me, it would not let me delete the number that existed or modify it.
How
I've gotten
very
around it
odd.
by highlighting it and just replacing the number. Okay. So one free die. Biology, xenobiology is a focus.
I don't think so.
Okay. Emergency medicine.
No, because it's more trying to identify. So I don't think it's emergency at this
Research.
point.
I have a research.
I'll give you research.
Okay. And let's see. I will do 2 more momentum for another die. And I will pop 2 momentum into cutting edge medicine to bring the difficulty down by 2, which will conversely raise the comp by 4. Or by 2 to 4.
All right, hold on. Let me read it really quick. Whenever you attempt a medicine task with a difficulty of 3 or higher, you may spend up to 3 momentum to reduce the difficulty by the number of momentum spent. So you're you're spending 2 momentum to bring that down to diff 3.
Mm-hmm.
But comp 4. Okay.
Correct.
All right, and I believe you bought 4 dice. Captain can assist if you wish.
I am definitely re-rolling that 17 with cautious.
Go ahead and re-roll.
Second.
6 successes total, so you gain 3 off of that. Look at all of the doctor's talents and traits coming into use here.
Hey, the doctors.
All right, I will send the doctor this information. I think that's a good start.
Ah, see, that was going to be that question I asked: is have I seen the substance before?
Just got a 2 for 1.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go, Captain. This, whatever they took, it's based on that substance they were creating at the station.
That's how would they get over here, though?
Yeah. I don't know, Captain. I'm just telling you what I know at this point. I've seen this base compound before. There's other things attached to it that I don't know, but it's not a medicine that like they were describing.
Probably around this point, you do notice that Lyra probably came back with a few security peoples, maybe a medic or two, or a medic.
I will wave at them, and beckon them over, and shout at the crowd to let them through. And I will start briefing them on what I know so far, minus any classified information.
Right. But I believe you guys were role playing, so go ahead and stay in that if you wish.
Uh, 2 patients, late 20s, took a unknown chemical substance for some kind of recreative purposes. It's not in any of the Federation databases that I have. He's having a bad reaction to it of some kind. I'm still trying to figure out how to get him stabilized.
And their medical personnel will nod and start scanning them themselves, trying to confirm.
Yeah, and I will link to them whatever data is appropriate that I can.
Medical personnel will look at your stuff and say, "Got it," and they'll tap their communicator. I need a gurney and more personnel here. We need to get them to a hospital quickly.
Do I feel like they're safe to transport?
Yeah.
I'll look at the captain and say, Captain, we do have the option of taking them up to the Akatsuki.
She nods. Do it. Whatever political pullback this faces, I'll handle it.
Acknowledged. Dr. the Akatsuki. We have
Go ahead, doctor.
we have let's see, five. How many emergency personnel did you say showed up? Like 2, 3?
Probably just the one for now, but they just called for more.
Okay. So 6 to beam directly to sick bay. I'm letting them know that they're coming with us so that chain of information can be maintained, and her chain of treatment, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, who's all the 6?
Myself, the 2 patients, the captain, Lyra, and the emergency medical person that just showed up.
Okay. In lieu of having a roll from the ship or from the transported ship, I'll actually just make this a presence medicine roll due to the medical nature of this. I believe this is just going to be a difficulty 2.
Okay. This is just me maintaining authority over the situation, or
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's why it's basically you ordering the transporter thing. So like I had a thought about this last night about like how transporters work, and it seems to make more sense to me that if you're ordering the transport, that the role should probably come from you
okay.
instead of like having to activate the transporter chief all the time.
Okay. Um, I will get 1 die off momentum. And I don't really have any focuses that apply to this, do I?
No. Well,
Okay.
emergency medicine.
Okay.
I'll keep that because emergency situation, and I would imagine there'd be emergency protocols set up on the ship to handle these things. These eventualities. Trying to make sure the transporter roll is correct, but the book is not laid out to find it quickly.
I think transporters were engineering something, or something engineering,
Yeah, I was
control engineering.
more or less trying to get the ship, what the ship assists with.
Oh, sensors engineering.
Okay, yeah, that. So yeah, someone wants to grab the ship for that. I'll just try to make sure my math is right too. That's why I'm trying to find the transporter.
It's sensors plus science now for transporter roles.
Oh, okay.
There it is. It's in the book in 4 spots. Okay, transporting from a transporter pad to another site without pad used by one site to site is diff 2. And normally it's a diff 0 task. So yeah, so this will be presence medicine to order the transport using sensor science from the ship. Diff 2.
Okay. So am I
Oh, there's the.
re-rolling?
No, sorry, there's the roll. Well, it is a medicine test, so you could if you want to fish.
Nah, I've got one better than difficulty, so I'll keep it.
Someone can just grab the ship, please. Oh, I forgot you have advanced sensors. Gain 3, so you have a float. I don't know what you could use with the float.
I think just before they're beamed away, Jax is just, "Oh, Rev, goodbye. And my offer still stands. Take care."
Call me.
Yay, my mouse wheel is having difficulties working. Yay.
I'm still seeing the entertainment district. There we go.
Don't think we need 2 of your tokens.
I was gonna say I and my clone get to work. All right. I'm gonna look right up at Kjall. 2 Betazoid, male or female, late 20s, unknown chemical substance in their system. And I'm gonna point her to the female. She's been less affected. See if you can get a blood sample off of her and run an analysis on what the compound is. And I will also forward her the information that I've gotten off of my tricorder. Look over at Lyra and go with the captain, please. Sorry.
Oh, right.
All right. Male patient's going in the clamshell.
All right. So you're in sick bay. What are you trying to do next?
Next step is treatment. See what I can do to get this guy stabilized. What parts of his body have been affected, and what I can do to make them less affected.
All right. Since you're not really sure yet how this component exactly affects the body, I think the best thing that you can do is probably treat the symptoms. So really, it's just treating like pretty much you're probably gonna. What I think you would do, and correct me if I'm wrong, you would probably just go through the standard treatment for overdosing, right? And then treat symptoms. Like, is that kind of like what you're thinking, or?
Yeah. Since we're on the ship, I could probably do a little bit of blood filtration, maybe.
Okay.
But since it's an unknown chemical, I don't exactly have a
Right. Yeah.
word for a precise plan on how to treat it. Or a pre-existing plan on how to treat it.
Okay. So this will probably be a daring medicine. Just double checking some things. Probably be a difficulty 2.
Okay. At this point, will I have moved over to biology focus, or am I still doing emergency medicine?
I could still keep it emergency med.
Okay. I'll pop a momentum for the extra dice and cautious. I'll fish that 17 really quick. Better. Three successes.
Okay. You start to treat. You're doing your blood filtration. You're using the standard overdose protocols, and it does seem to be helping with the symptoms of it. You know the foaming around the mouth stopped, the glassiness of the eyes decreased, the body shake stopped, and you probably do that. I'll allow you to do this in both, and it seems to be effective in both.
Okay. So now it's just the long, slow process of detoxification.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. I will direct the Betazoid med tech to a wall panel that they can use to open a channel down to wherever on the surface they need to get in touch with. So that they can give updates. And then if this is something that can be monitored by Kial, I will step back from it and let her take over.
Yep, it can be. I mean, the worst of it's over as far as you believe.
Okay. So I will mosey over to the captain. Well, I think he's out of the woods. His name was Kalen, I believe, and Soraya, she can probably be sent down to the planet to whatever hospital they want to be taken to for observation. I'd like to keep him here at least until the morning, while this treatment course takes its course. But they should both recover, and hopefully the blood samples will tell us more about the compound they ingested.
So I guess it appears whoever was making this. Wow.
Is further
The
along in their
drug.
production than we thought.
Agreed. Continue working with Betazoid Security and the medical department on Betazid. Should at least smooth things over by having us beam up to citizens.
All right, I will do so. Lyra, not exactly the way I intended to show you the ship, but welcome aboard the USS Akatsuki.
She'll just give like a half smile. Do you think they're going to be okay?
Yes, I do think they'll be okay. Mr. Kalen's had it far worse than his partner did, but they should be fine coming out the other end of it. If you'd like, I can get you beamed back down to the surface and home, and call it a rain check on the tour. If you'd like, you can stick around, though.
Well, I'm already here.
Right. I'll turn back over my shoulder. Gyal, do you think you can handle this for a while?
Who normally plays Kiel?
I have no idea.
I don't either.
I think the last person to play Gyal was me.
So in a
Yeah, I was about
Go
to say
ahead.
I can play Kiel if needed.
Go for it. Give us your best Vulcan voice.
Oh God, I'm terrible at Vulcans. Yes, of course, Doctor.
Very well. I'll be on the ship if you need me.
Understood.
And I will once again offer my arm to Lyra and say, "This way."
And she'll grab your arm, still visibly shaken by the experience, but we'll try to enjoy the tour.
Well, I think the first stop will be my quarters, so I can change and probably offer her something to drink to calm her nerves.
Alrighty, we'll get back to the tour. But what we will do, we're going to head planets. Just give me a second. I gotta find where this thing went. Then, of course, I have to put tokens in it. Counselor, where do you want to be?
He's probably still on the planet. I missed last week, so I wasn't sure what the latest.
We could probably just throw you with Rix and Kane, starting to go over the security for the event. So yeah, we'll put you guys at the reception place. So basically, this is where the security personnel and Kane, being begrudgingly dragged to the reception. You guys are going to start creating traits, role-playing stuff, coming up with a plan to defend this venue should the need arise, basically. And then are you guys able to spot your tokens, yeah?
Yep, I'm in there.
Yep.
Haven't loaded up for me yet. I have a pretty slow internet where I am, so.
Yeah, this one is kind of big. It took me a bit to load to. But this is the reception hall that you've been to previously. We're shown the lay of the land. This is more of the map that was created. But just a little background of the place. It is probably nestled in the mountains. The mountains make it difficult, if not impossible, to transport in and out of. So most of the guests have to be shuttled over or brought in land vehicle. And, it's pretty remote, beautiful view of the mountains.
People walk around a bit, taking his surroundings. This is pretty swanky.
Surely no expense was spared on this event.
Your Betazoid security liaison will speak up. No expenses are spared when it comes to the Keir family.
Well, Rix, you have me. What are we doing?
Let me know as soon as I get a look at the situation.
It's still loading.
My pad is at 98% processing. So. But we do need some force fields on the windows. We need to set up some checkpoints. Perhaps Anson Charel can be called in for the scanning of the checkpoints. We also need a force field down in the cargo area and the scanner, so to make sure that nothing gets in without our knowledge through the back door, so to speak. So there's plenty to do.
I am happy to start on the windows. For some definitions of the word happiness. All right. I will go get to that. And yeah, Caden is going to find a window. Don't know if he see. I don't see any windows on the map, so he'll just. Oh no, there's one right there. Okay.
There's a ton of windows, to open up the view to the outside, to view the mountains in the distance, the nice little oceanside resort that this is.
All right. Yeah, I mean, if he. Actually, that would be a good question. Kane will turn. Hey, Rix, do you have the equipment, or do we need to bring it down?
I can ask the Beta Soy security liaison if they have any, but I would prefer to have our own equipment set up. So we would probably need to bring down a lot from the ship.
Understood. So yeah, Kane will switch to basically taking account of. Oh damn, there are a ton of windows. How many windows there are, and then their approximate size, to gauge out how many generators he'll need for the force fields.
Oh, and just to let you know, this is just the reception room. This isn't the actual place where they're getting married at. That's in a different room here. Probably through the doors over here.
Damn it. Okay. How much time until the festivities?
So I'm probably going to put this at that night where the captain and the doctor were enjoying the cultural festival. So there are, well, let's just call it Thursday, Friday, half a Saturday. So you got 2.5 days.
Well, he is an engineer, so in true engineering fashion, he's gonna scout all the windows and take some approximate measurements to figure out how much equipment he'll need.
All right, so yeah, so if you guys just wanted to start creating a list of all the advantages you guys want to make, if there's anywhere in particular you guys want to go, I'll just move you there. Where you wanted to go, what you wanted to look at.
I did already create a trait when venue weak spots identified, so I guess that could help us when setting up stuff in the
Yeah,
roles.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the idea I had for the reception expanded a bit since that last episode, so yeah. So yeah, basically just create a list of all the advantages you want to make, anything you want to overlook. I'll use that trait if there's something that you don't think of that I see. But yeah, so just a couple things with the place. The mountains do create a bit of a transporter neutralization zone just from the properties of the mountains. So beaming anything in and out is next to impossible. Most of the people and items need to be brought in via shuttle transport or ground transport. And then most of the supplies that are needed to run this place are brought in from a cargo tunnel that is located underneath the complex. So scenes we have set up, we have this large reception room, and then we also have the loading bay underneath and the loading bay passage. If you guys want to look at any of those as well.
What did we call the underground tunnel? Did we call it something special?
A service tunnel?
tunnel. That's a good. Service tunnel is good.
Yeah.
Are there any existing security measures for the building? Like sensor systems or futuristic burglar alarms?
Probably not, because it's basically just a standard civilian complex. So, like, other than, like, we could lock the doors, we could lock the windows, there's probably not much else.
In that case, the counselor will turn to Rix and say, would it be possible to set up a security sensor system with equipment we have on board the ship?
How do you mean, counselor?
Well, I see that the venue here isn't fitted with any, doesn't have any fitted security system or a central system with which to monitor the whole venue. Perhaps we could set up some portable sensors and connect them to a terminal, and then we'll have one sort of area that we can monitor the whole event from all angles.
That is a good idea, counselor. We'll use the little security office the building already has and reinforce it with our tech.
I'm at your assistance for whatever you need.
Well, if you want to start on that, that would be awesome. Strange word I've picked up. Awesome. Trying to use it. I don't know if I like it.
Well, growing vocabulary is always a challenging and rewarding endeavor, I guess.
Well, I had the young people, some of my younger security personnel used it, so I tried to blend in. I'm not sure how well that is working.
We don't have any security supporting characters out right now, do we?
I believe
Not at
they're
the
all on the
moment,
ship.
no.
Maybe in that case, the counselor will head back to the ship and work with the security officers just to look through the gear, see what we can use, what we have in terms of sensors or other equipment that we could set up.
Kate, are you seriously going through the bathroom, opening up every single door?
You know, look, I'm on security detail. You got to check these things. I'm sure Rick's would have me do it anyway. Okay, wait. Why does the women's bathroom have a couch and the men's doesn't?
That's how most of those things work.
Because one's going to have a waiting line and the other one's not.
You know, honestly, I thought in the future both genders could have couches. Whatever. All right. It's what it is.
Remember, this is a matriarchy, so of course the women's bathrooms are going to be nicer.
Fair. Totally fair. Kane will walk up to Rick's. Commander, I've sized the windows in this room, and I've also checked every single bathroom stall. There are no windows in the bathrooms.
I would hope none.
Sometimes good to have natural light.
Or an available window for air circulation.
I do believe you have more important things to do than inspecting the toilets, Commander.
Now, Commander, if somebody were to hide a weapon, the bathroom stall might be a good place. I had to be very thorough. All right, so if you'll
I
excuse me,
appreciate your diligence, Commander, but
Oh,
there are priorities to be made.
of course. I'll hold off the next check until closer to the party. If you'll excuse me, I have more windows to size.
I'll let you have at it.
Zalar's just going to turn to you, Rix. He's not going to be a problem, is he? As Kane walks down the hallway.
Just keep him occupied, and he'll do his part. Just don't. If you want to avoid embarrassing moments, then just avoid him as much as you can. He's apparently I don't want to know. Cougar hunting, I suppose. Is some kind of term to use for it?
There's no cougars on Beta Z.
Oh, in Kane's eyes, there are. Fortunately, a lot of them. Particularly one. It's a Earth metaphor.
Ah, I see.
I suggest we get to it, and I suggest we simply get to it and let him do his work for now.
You were saying something, Counselor?
I was just chiming in that I, for one, am quite looking forward to getting this event over with.
Indeed.
Think that is a sentiment all of us share.
Well, I hope that if I ever do get married, that things go at least a little less dramatic.
You can always hope.
Well, if you live on Beta Z long enough, this becomes a everyday fact of life. definitely not what I was expecting, having joined the defense forces.
Well, if you ever get bored of it, Starfleet's always recruiting.
I would say I'm intrigued, but given the nature of your assignment here, I don't think our jobs are too dissimilar.
Well, I guess that's the beauty of it. Going from exploring brand new planets and life to a week ashore for a wedding. I never know where I'm going to end up.
Alrighty. Any other role play before we get to setting up these advantages? Where did Kane run off to?
The server room.
Oh, there you are.
Now in the kitchen.
I see you.
Getting to all the bathrooms.
Got to check for all the hidey holes.
You know, Rix would have my ass if there was somebody in the stall and I didn't notice.
I mean, he did ignore the one door in the main room.
Wasn't sure if I was supposed to go into that one.
He went into the women's bathroom. I mean,
You know, what can I say?
I mean, that tracks,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
There's a locked set of doors here. Looks like it's filled with couches. Something to notes. Oh, more back.
Probably the cigar lounges.
That is fair. Oh, hey, another couch. Lovely. Throw it in my face.
Well, at least Kane will know this map like the back of his hand after all of this.
Kane's taking a bit of a break, just sitting down on the couch.
Okay, so setting up this stuff, what exactly are you guys doing here?
Yeah,
Well, I made a list in the Discord, so can probably just follow that.
All right. So the force fields for the windows seems pretty straightforward. It's just a case of setting it up. The security checkpoints, is that going to be with personnel or just an automated deal?
In the wrist node, they're gonna be manned. Yeah, definitely.
All right. So explain this shuttle and overview checkpoints. What are you planning there?
Well, you described last time that there were like I don't remember if just hilltops or mountaintops, but there were two mountaintops overlooking the mansion, so to speak. And so I had the idea of posting two shuttles with an overview station, sniper station, whatever you want to call it, there to
Okay.
the building and their overall surroundings.
Okay. The background check on the catering and the workers, I would say, has probably already been completed. Because I think that was one of the first things you guys were discussing, like way back in part 1, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't remember if we ever did it. We discussed it, but I don't know if it ever got done.
Yeah.
Oh.
Given the amount of roleplay, that's probably something that just happened off screen.
Okay.
And security patrols of the building, that's okay. Security personnel armed with grenades. I mean, if you want to give me a boatload of threat, Kane, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about it. The chief of security has not cleared that
Look, if
particular
we're
point.
overwhelmed, you're gonna want grenades.
Neither has the
If it's a
anti-air
gem,
phasor turrets been
if
cleared.
if the Jem'Hadar attack, you're gonna want firepower. Okay.
Bubble shield generator.
Yeah, I don't know about that one either. That seems excessive.
But I mean, what if there's an airstrike against this?
True.
Yeah, we need anti-aircraft.
Well, that's what the overview shuttles are for. But I don't think we want to close in the whole thing. That doesn't feel very inviting.
I mean, the shield's transparent most of the time. No one will really notice.
Yeah, that's true. You also do have a starship. Okay.
Ooh, do we want to just land the starship nearby?
I mean,
That could be your Overwatch. just land it on a mountaintop.
honestly, it would be more intimidating if it just hovered over the mansion at all times.
Yeah, but that takes power. And to think, if we landed nearby, it would be a far easier process to offload all the stuff we need than having to beam it down to a location, load it onto a shuttle, fly it over the mountain.
Yeah, but it would take so long to get it up and running if something were to happen. So.
Yeah, but at the same
Okay.
time, we don't really require warp power when we're on the ground. We can work on the fusion generators, and that's enough to run the shield and the phaser arrays for a while.
All right. So we'll just knock off a couple of the easy things here. The security checkpoints are probably going to be pretty easy to set up and get the personnel in place. So we'll just do a trait creation for that. It's probably going to be either a control engineering or a presence security, depending on how you want to set that up. The shuttles and the shuttle and overview checkpoint, that'll probably also just be a trait creation. Probably just like a presence with commander security, something like that. Security patrols probably just be another creation presence security. The only one I might do something different for would be the force fields, because that is going to take time. And I might have to give you an extended task roll to see if you complete it in time.
Cool. The security checkpoints I had planned because of the scanning equipment could be a science task if we had Amy with us, but now it doesn't really matter, I guess.
That's true. That's true. Well, what's Duncan's sign?
Let me check.
Oh, you have a 3 in medicine and, or you have a 3 in science and security, so, and computers.
Yeah, you can probably manage setting up the sensors. I figured just like, basic sensors that can, accurately detect how many people are in the room or where people are heading, that sort of thing.
If memory serves correctly, in the episode Code of Honor, the Enterprise D was able to like scan a compound and isolate all the life forms, and they could just watch people walking around from one of the consoles on the bridge.
Yes, but I have that handy dandy trait which plays with sensors.
Oh yeah, that's right. All the more reason we should just land the ship and have it right there.
Are communications affected?
No, communications are not affected.
Okay. So yeah, Duncan's advantage would be just to set up like a basic network of like portable sensors.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm thinking that'll probably, if you're doing it yourself, which it sounds like you are, it'll probably be a control, and I'll give you security or science, whichever you like better.
Yeah, I can do a control security. I don't think any of my focuses would apply, so.
Well, like anything, if you could sell me on on an idea you're thinking,
Would
I'm all for
my
that.
trait be applicable in any of these roles? My previous traits?
Yeah. So the trait I will let you decide for each role how it applies.
Okay.
Sorry, what was the difficulty?
There's just be a trait creation, so diff 2.
Okay. Um, already full momentum. Yeah, would you take computers for focus? Because it's being hooked up to the security office console.
You know what? I will.
Cool. And I will spend 3 momentum and roll 4 dice. Huh.
All right. So you succeed, but there is a complication.
Well, I can either reroll everything or.
If you have a way to reroll, you can reroll what missed.
Would the trait give me a reroll? Or, Rix's trait?
I'll allow it. Yeah, I'll allow it to be used for this role in that case.
Okay. Okay, that's a little better. I'm momentum back.
All right. So Duncan, during these next couple of days, you get to work creating the sensor nets used to, keep track of personnel movement, scan for any security breaches. At the entrances, they're scanning for any weapons that might be brought in. And you are able to set up a computer room. I'll call it the room over here, where you set up all the computers in. Because I don't think this other lounge is going to be used. So this will be where you throw all your equipment.
It was this room?
I'll drag you over to it.
Okay. Perfect.
That one with all the couches. We will turn that into your security net / command center room.
Sweet.
And it's, close proximity to the bar, which is, of course, the most important thing.
Yep, perfect.
Okay, what is the next thing you guys wanted to roll for?
I can do the checkpoints.
So that one's the shuttle checkpoints.
Yeah. No, the security checkpoints in the building.
I think that's what.
Serve tunnel.
I think that's just what we rolled for.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
I thought you were doing a security central. Or are those the same task?
I put him in the same task
Ah, okay.
because he was creating this. Because from what I gathered, he was creating the security checkpoints and then installing additional
okay.
Sensor nets, and then I just kind of, for narrative sake, threw it into a monitoring room.
I'll do the security patrols then.
Okay. And those are the personnel in and out of the building, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is going to be... Oh, there's so many ways that we could go about doing this. How are you going to go about doing it? And then I'll let you know.
Well, this is because what I already did was go around the building and look for places where security patrols would be good to have, which is where my early trait would come in. So this is actually placing out personnel at the appropriate security patrol areas.
Okay. I will make this an insight or reason with security then.
Take insight security. What will be the difficulty for this?
Just 2. Just to create the trait. Let me see what your chief is.
Would it be -1 because of my earlier trait influencing this?
So actually, you... Reduce the opportunity cost. Does that... When it says reduce the opportunity cost, does that also mean decrease difficulty? Or is that just talking momentum?
It's probably just talking momentum.
All right, so I guess I'll give you the option here. You could spend the momentum to just get this, or you could roll for it.
I'd like to roll for it.
Okay. So that would be a difficulty 2. Using that, I will give you an infiltration for a focus, because I could see you doing this more as if I were trying to break in, where would it hinder?
Yeah, I have infiltration as focus, so.
Yeah. So that's how I would see it. And so yeah,
my question is, would my earlier trait reduce the difficulty, or did that just give me the opportunity to spend momentum on it?
Well, the momentum was just is a thing you could just do.
Yeah.
No. So what I was going to say is that during this roll, you have the option to use that trait for whatever you need to. So if you wanted to use it, for example, if you wanted to use it to decrease difficulty, you could, or you could use it later after the roll to increase potency.
I
So,
see. I see.
So it is your choice of how to use it. For example, in Duncan's case, he wanted to re-roll the complication, so I allowed the trait to be used to do that. But it couldn't be
Okay.
used in his case for anything else.
Okay,
if
then
that makes
I'll just do a normal roll to try and increase the potency of it. I will give you 1 threat for bold
I do enjoy threats.
using focus. Let's see how my internet goes. I can re-roll that. There's a 20, yes.
Yep.
Can
Right now
re-roll
you
the
have 0.
20.
Right now you do have 0 successes.
Yeah, which is why I'm gonna re-roll the 20. Okay, that's 1 success.
All right. So technically, it's not a fail. You could use the succeed at cost, or you could use that trait to just make it a diff 1. Or you can
Let
find
me
another way to reroll.
see. Just gonna see if any of my talents. Is this just once or what? Once per mission? Yeah. I'll do a succeed at cost.
Okay. All right. So you're able to set up your patrol routes. However, the security officers don't have your intimate knowledge of infiltration techniques. So you're trying to explain that, like, what they're looking for to them, but they're not really getting it. So you think they understand, but they might just be paying you lip service.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to keep the trait hidden, or the negative effect hidden for now.
Well, succeed at cost. Fail a task. I didn't fail it, so okay. I'm done.
Okay, the other 2 that I'm seeing is the shuttle and overview checkpoints, and then the force fields on the windows and other entrances, right?
Yeah.
All right, which one do we want to do next?
Kane can do the force fields. Real quick though, he wants to make sure that there's no booby trap rigged to the piano keys. Just real quick. So he's going to go ahead and do his best to play a little ditty.
Sure. Give me a control con. Well, if you wanted to try to play it good, I could give you a roll. If you just wanted to press a few keys.
No. Let's actually try to play it. Let's do it.
All right. This will be probably a control con.
Okay.
I'll let you give me the difficulty to determine the difficulty of the song you're doing.
do 2. In the off chance he hits it. Considering he grew up on Andoria, will you take xenotechnology as a focus?
No.
Damn it. Okay. Alrighty, let's do it. Honestly, better than I expected. So
Yeah.
he'll bust out a quick rendition of, I don't know, Bach's Concerto number 4. I don't even know if that's a thing. Sorry, Rix. I probably really offended you right now. So if you have a better
Well,
song, feel free to, give it to me.
Bach's Concerto number 4 is I don't think that specific piece exists. You'll have to pick which instrument he wrote the concert for.
I will defer to you, my friend.
Play some Vivaldi. Go with like The Spring or something.
Let's do that.
Can do a Brandenburg Concerto by Bach on the tempered clavier.
Trying to see if there's any piano music in here. You know, just like a piano playing. There you go. Yeah, so Kane, you could play something like this, but you are screwing up notes every now and then.
Kane will just look up at Rex. Pretty good, huh?
Impressive. However, I still do believe you have other duties to attend to.
Oh, that is true, Rex. I'm just practicing for the party. Got to get these fingers all warmed up. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Okay, so Kane is gonna get to securing the windows and other entrances, exits.
Rix, your pastime is music, right?
No, my pastime is
Oh, carpentry. I see it now.
carpentry.
Never mind.
Music is my real vocation in real life.
Yeah. I saw the video you posted of you doing the conducting.
Yeah. Although most of my characters have had an interest in music, but I chose to stray away from that with Rix. For once.
For once. Okay, so we're going to do Kane's next. All right, so I think I'm going to have to give you an extended task here, Mr. Kane. Mostly because with the sheer amount of force fields you set up, there is a chance that you might not be able to get all of the force fields in place. So I think that's where the extended task would come in perfectly here. So since I got to make a extended task up on the fly, I am thinking that this is going to be it's not terribly difficult, so I'm just thinking a diff 2.
Wait, like he's got enough force fields that it'll overload the power grid? Or he just won't have enough time to get them all in place?
That's what I'm referring to.
Oh, okay.
Because I would imagine you would call down to get more power should you need it. For me, it's just a case of, are there going to be holes in your grid come wedding time? I think that's what it's going to be. I think it's going to be diff 2, work 18, resistance 1. However, you only have 3. Hold on. You have 6 intervals until the wedding. And actually, I'm going to wait 5 intervals. Because you only have a half day on Saturday. So
Okay, so
that's the task. I will give you time to prepare, to call down more personnel if you need / want, using crew support, enlisting whoever you need to. I figure that since everyone's doing their own individual task, you probably couldn't call on Duncan. You probably can't call on Rix. So that's where the crew support spends might possibly come into play here. As for difficulty, it's probably control engineering, or sorry, for attributes, probably control engineering.
that's fair.
Daring if you're rushing, but I'll give him.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, he'll use daring if he can get away with it.
All right. I will do increase. So what I'll do is that if you're using daring, I would consider that you rushing it. So I might increase the resistance by 1 to use that trait.
All right. Yeah, he'll do control engineering for this. Not too much of a difference. Okay, no focuses. Nah, not really. Yeah, actually, I mean, looking at the immense amount of work that he has to do, he would like to call down some support for this. So supporting characters, would they just be like an assist for the role?
Yes.
Got it.
But I believe, if I remember correctly, they can be also used to create advantage, or did they take that away in second edition?
Well, either way, he is going to draw on some help. He's gonna call up the ship and get his old buddy. Let's check on it actually. Control engineering. It's a control engineering role. He's going to call up to the ship, click his comm badge, and then ask Amelia May to come down. Came to Akatsuki.
Probably Mahawk up there.
Go ahead, Commander.
Commander, would you mind sending what's her rank? Lieutenant May down to the surface. I could use a hand or two.
That can be arranged. Do you require any additional equipment?
Probably yes. However, I'll let engineering know as I need the equipment.
Very well. Anything else?
Should be good for now. I'll let you know.
Very well. Akatsuki out.
Okay. So we'll get May down here. Sure. If I can track her token, it doesn't look like it.
Sorry, I'm just double checking crew support here. Because just like most Star Trek Adventures books, you have to check 3 places to get the whole answer.
Yeah, that way.
All right, we'll just use it to roll then, because it's not clear. You said you're bringing down May.
Correct. Oh, Lieutenant, could use a hand here. Have you ever installed Windows in a building?
Can't say I have, sir.
Well, neither have I, so we're going to learn this together. Well, for what it's worth, I imagine it's a lot easier to set up force field generators around these windows. Let's figure it out on this first one, I guess. And yeah, I mean, I guess he's going to set them up in the corners of the window and calibrate it correctly. So yeah, first roll.
And then before you roll, just remember that you do have the trait created from Rick's. So with this being a more complicated, please decide how you're going to use that before.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was the trait created by Rex?
Basically just to determine weak points, and I said that you get to decide how it's applied. Since this is more involved, if you could decide how you're going to use that beforehand, that would be great.
Got it. Yeah, and if Rix has already determined like weak points, then Kane is going to prioritize setting up the force fields around the windows near those weak points, right? So if there's places where Rix feels like they're more open to attack or something like that, we're going to prioritize those given potentially limited time.
Really, what I mean is, like mechanically, how are you going to use the trait?
Oh, I don't know.
You,
No idea. What are the ways I can use it?
lower resistance, lower difficulty. I'm double checking rules because I'm sure there's a few more. But those two are just off the top of my head.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, let's just I hate seeing resistance, so let's just lower that resistance.
That works for me. All right, it'll be control engineering, and then with the assist.
All right, 2 threat and 1 momentum to kick things off.
All right, you gain 3 momentum out of that. So I'm just double checking what you can use the momentum on. And of course, in the first extended task part, that is not listed. God, there's 3 pages, 3 sections of the rules on extended task.
Righty. Crack open Chat GPT in that case.
You would think that given the opportunity to rewrite the rules, you would put all the information on extended task in one place.
Nah.
Yeah, that would spoil the fun.
I know, right? It makes too much sense. All right, where's the momentum spend? Keir, do you see where those momentum spends are for it? Because that's what I'm trying to find. Because I see the breakthroughs and stuff, like that's not what I'm looking for.
Page 271, momentum generated on task can be used in all the normal ways, but there's a momentum spend specifically to extended tasks, additional progress repeatable. During extended tasks, you can add 1 to your impact rating for 2 momentum.
Ah. Cool. Yeah. So you could use 2 momentum to add to the work track. And then you could also spend a momentum to cut the interval. Should you need more time.
Yeah.
So right now, because your department is 5, you are doing 5 work because you use it to cut the resistance.
That's right. I don't have to roll for work. Are breakthroughs still a thing?
Yes, but they happen differently now. And they could be good or bad depending on what I decide.
Got it.
But like the old school breakthroughs where it lowers the difficulty, they got rid of that.
Got it. Okay.
So like the extended tasks are very much you got to complete the work track. All right, so far, you are doing 5 work toward the 18, and you would currently be doing 2 intervals out of the 5. You have all the momentum, so you can kind of decide from there where to put the resources.
Okay. So we have 6 momentum, or do we have any float? Or
You have 6. I'm not sure if any of your talents give you stuff. You'd have to look at all that.
check through? I don't think so. I mean, testing a theory, which I'll use that in a sec. Yeah, everything is very ship focused or very computer focused. Okay, so 1 momentum, I believe, for intervals. So definitely want more time. And then I believe you said 2 more momentum for extra work.
Yeah, 2 gives you 1.
Eh. Honestly, I probably could use that momentum for more rolls. So yeah, that would take me down to 3. Yeah, screw it. We'll do it. Yeah, 1 extra work with the momentum. I can only buy an extra interval like once per round, or no?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Right. Let's do it again. Will you take testing a theory? For
I will.
free die. Okay. That's
Yeah, because
3.
it
and
it
then-
does say the same technical field, and this is the same technical field. So
Awesome. Okay. So 1 momentum, 1 threat for 4 dice. And yeah, I'll take a chance.
all right, you gain 3 back. And then this will put you at 11 out of 18, 3 out of 5 intervals. Before momentum spends, I should
Sure.
clarify.
Well, yeah, spend a momentum for the interval, for sure. Okay. And then crossing the work threshold just it lowers the difficulty for the next track. Is that correct? That's all it does?
No, when the work is completed, the task is done.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Either the new rules or I just completely blanked. Okay.
New rules.
Got it.
They said a task worked differently from last time.
Got it. Okay.
They got rid of that whole create a breakthrough, it lowers the difficulty thing.
Got it. Okay. All right, just got to get to 18 then. Yes, need 7 more. Don't have enough momentum. We'll do an extra roll. So the extra die for testing the theory, and then we'll do 1 threat, 1 momentum for 4 dice. I think I already spent for the interval, so be good. And re-rolling that one.
Come on, complication.
Don't screw me, May. Hey, nice.
Got 5 again, so your max momentum. You are at 11, so this will put you at 16.
Got it. So yeah, it's 2 more work to complete the task. So I'll just spend for that.
All right, it'll be 4 work total.
I'm tempted to just roll again, just to give Rix or whoever else has it a ton of momentum. But I don't know. I don't want to be a hero and fuck it up. So yeah, I'll just spend for it.
Okay, so spend the 4 momentum.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, you pretty much you and May and various other engineers worked tirelessly through the next 2 days, and probably by Friday, you estimate that by Friday the work will be done. But you'll be nose to the grindstone during all of it. So yeah, probably be done late Friday night.
Cool.
So yeah, that's probably what the rest of the crew is doing. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to do here before we head back to the Keir family estate and potentially the ship?
I do not think so.
I guess the question is, did we cover all the roles?
I think that's the shuttle checkpoints
Okay.
left, maybe.
All right, yeah, I think you are correct. So yeah, to get that organized, I think that's probably going to be. I think that one has to be the presence role, because I think you have to coordinate with the con department and the flight engineers to get that set up.
Mhm.
With the shuttle usage and all of that. So I'm thinking that one is going to be the presence. Probably presence security.
Okay. Uh, What's my Hawk's presence security? Just to know.
He will have a 13.
What's my 9 plus 5? I will have 14. Okay. So I'll take it then.
Do you want Mahawk to assist?
I mean, he'd probably call up to the ship and have that done. So yeah, that would make sense to me at least.
Okay.
If it's okay with the GM.
Well, Rix was working on the one thing, so I think this does have to be somebody else to roll for this.
Okay,
To get
then
the
would probably be
activated.
Mahawk.
I believe we activated Mahawk earlier in this, right?
Yeah, he got activated back in part 1.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll also consider him activated. So yeah, I can see this being presence command also. I mean, really, I could see this being one of 3 disciplines, but command's your best one. So yeah, presence command. This would be a diff. Since I got all this threat, I'm gonna make this a difficulty 3.
Okay. Is there an existing trait I can use to some benefit?
You could still use Rix's trait. Like I said, you get to determine how it's used, so you can use it to lower the difficulty, or you can use it to make something better on the back end.
Before I determine that, will you accept strategy tactics as a focus for this role?
I will.
Okay. Let's see. I will use the trait to reduce the difficulty by 1.
All right, diff 2.
And I will buy a die off momentum.
Any rerolls?
No, not currently.
Aha.
You said it was.
And that's the one to. Yep. Yeah, you're able to coordinate with the various shuttle pilots and con officers who would need to fly the shuttles down there, coordinate with the security teams on how Rix wants them set up. But you are able to create the advantage to have Overwatch positions using shuttles and Overwatch equipment, like various scanning tools and what have you.
Vipers.
So that advantage is set up. Sorry, that trait is set up. All right, I think that covers everything you talked about. Was there anything else? Was there anything else you guys wanted to do on the planet side, or in the?
I'm good.
Oh, and I should probably at least show you the loading bay. You guys probably can't see anything in here yet, correct? Odon, do your job. I think you guys could have view of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I could see like crates and support pillars without him in there.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. So the door to the right, Rick, did this load for you?
I have really bad. Oh no, it did actually load. Yes. It's dark for me, but I can see it. See the map.
All right, cool. So the door to the right here is what leads to the service elevator that leads up to the kitchen. This is where all of the foodstuffs. This is where all of the workers come in from. There's probably a few ground carts that I didn't put in here yet, but that traveled down the road to the left here. That leads 3 kilometers away to basically a service road. And this is where ultimately all the supplies and the workers are brought in from. They somehow get to that service station a few miles away or a few kilometers away and are brought in on these carts to here. And then this is a security force field that's located there. So I at least wanted to show you guys this so you're not surprised by it. Then I'll give you an opportunity to create anything here you want to as well.
I think it was to have one of the security stations over here, and then a patrol in the tunnel itself. Not the whole tunnel, just the close proximity to us, not the whole 3 kilometers.
Okay. Yeah, I figured the force field would be placed down here as well as some of the security grid stuff.
Yep.
And then you're going to put personnel here. That's fine too. Cool. Was there anything new you wanted to create down here as you're saying it? Or can we move on?
I'm good.
All right. We will head back to Keir Family Estate. All of you are not here. But Keir just came back. Right? Keir, you said you were heading back to the compound? Or were you staying on the ship?
Yes. Yes, heading back
Okay.
to the compound.
Okay. I'll drop your token in then.
Already in this on the map.
Okay. I will give you the floor then.
And she heads over towards the lounge area and is going to grab a bottle of wine.
As you're pouring your glass of wine, your mother enters. Wellia, dear, you're back early.
Yes.
So, dear, how did it go?
As expected, like the others?
So I take it you are not selecting any of these fine suitors.
Fine suitors, mother? Really? That's how you see them?
Of course I do, dear. Each of them will make fine additions to this family.
Really? A captain within the Bezos security forces that has only interest in is using my status and our family name to rise in his position? You have, oh, don't get me started on Baylor, who wishes to use me as a test subject. And you have Jax. Well, Jax, he doesn't even want to get married at all. He just wants to use me as a way to get out of his own family problems. Fine selection, mother. Fine indeed, I say.
Well, of course, each of them have their own ambitions in life. Much like yourself, surely you can't hold that against them. You have goals, they have goals.
Mother, please invite me of this whole arrangement with that you wish to show the Cardassians and the Bajorans about union and whatnot. Please just refresh me on that because I really feel like this is pointless. I'm sorry. These three suitors, one is clearly in love with me on paper, while the other two really don't care about me. Is that what you wish for your daughter's future? To be in a loveless marriage?
Sometimes, Relia, dear, love and marriage comes later. It is the obligation at the start that is more important.
Obligation? You're tearing his family apart.
I am strengthening the family. I am positioning us for the future.
In future?
Why, yes, of
The only
course.
future I have is to be of lesser value within the family as it is. My sister stands to inherit all of this.
Well, you have made it very clear that you want to be as removed from the family as possible. Going off on your little starships halfway across the galaxy.
I left home because of you. Because you, all you care about is whatever agenda you want for everybody else in the family. There was no future for me here. If I wanted to have a future, it was out there, away from this family.
And how is that
Since this
future turning out for
charade,
you?
You know what? It's going quite well, but unfortunately, since my career is on the line and apparently yours as well because of this charade that you have us imposing on, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna go upstairs and I'm going to get drunk. And by the meantime, you just select whatever suitor you want to, because I will tell you this: within a year, I will be divorcing them no matter what. And she just storms past her mother.
If that is what you wish, dear, I will make all the arrangements for you.
You do that, mother.
Well, all right then. Was there anything else we wanted to do here?
I mean, besides her getting drunk on a bottle of wine, unless someone wishes to roleplay with her, that's their call.
So, if you guys recalled, you guys did play all of Keir's siblings, and you probably heard the yelling exchange. So, if anybody wanted to roleplay as her siblings, feel free to.
I candidly forgot which one I played.
Yeah, I think I played one of the groom's family.
They're in the back garden over here. So I don't remember who played who either.
So, whichever character I was will look up at the noise and let out a haughty scoff and roll their eyes. Rilla was always the troublemaker, wasn't she? They can just say that into the void. That'll be the scene transition.
Alrighty. Um, was there anything else anybody wanted to do? Because this is probably a good place to potentially call it. Because I think that ended on a fascinating note for going into next week.
I do not have anything else to do.
Nothing for me. He'll probably just be annoying May as they complete their work.
And the doctor's up on the ship dealing with his own adrenaline rush
Yep.
and company.
All right. All right, so we'll head to the second floor where Keir slams her door after yelling at her mother. Bottle of wine in tow.
Oh, Mittens, at least I have you.
And as you go to give the give Mittens affections, it'll give that kitty purring as it nuzzles its head against your leg.
As Kier gets tucked into her second glass, she gets a call from the ship. Mahawk to Captain Keir.
Uh, yes, Commander.
Do you have a moment?
I have all the time in the world, Commander.
Very well. I will come. I will beam down to this planet's surface.
Understood.
And Mahawk will beam down in front of the estate with an armful of pads. And find his way upstairs if you want to drop my token onto the second floor somewhere.
Sorry.
GM?
Try to find your token.
Oh, I was gonna say I don't think it's ever been on that map. And I will knock on the door. Captain, are you there?
Hopefully, you heard the sound effect.
Yeah, I heard the sound effect of something beaming. I will knock on the door again.
No response from your knock.
I will pull out my tricorder and scan the room to see if there's a life form or life forms in it. do I show that there's someone in there?
Oh, no.
Is the door locked?
No, you can walk in.
Well, let me open the doors. Yeah, cannot move. Attempted movement collides with at least one wall.
Oh, I guess they are locked.
Okay. A hawk to Captain Keir.
And you are going to get no response.
A hawk to the Akatsuki.
Go ahead, Commander.
Did Captain Keir beam aboard the ship?
No, sir.
Scan the area and see if you can locate her signal.
As far as we could tell, sir, she is at the Keir family estate inside her room.
I see. Thank you. Mahawk out. He will proceed down the stairs.
All right, and as Mahawk runs away, the camera will pan back to Keir's room, and on her bed will be her comm badge. And I think at that, we'll call that the end of Family Obligations.